Hey everybody! Alright, I'm here today to show you some cards. Got a lot of ideas, of course, as usual, probably more than I can really show realistically. But I do have a few things to show you using the Bloom Where You're Planted stamps suite, which includes the stamp set Plentiful Plants, and then some great paper that, where did I put it? Oh, over here. It is called, I think this is the one that's Bloom Where You're Planted, designer series paper. And then there's a bunch of dies that go with it too. So let me show you some things here. And as usual, I think you're more interested in what is on my desk than me. So I'm going to flip you down. So by the way, please comment if you're here. I'd love to say hi. So, all right. Hopefully that'll work. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. So here is the stamp set. And then this paper is so pretty. So some of you know that my husband used to work at a garden center. And so plants have been part of our life for a long time, but these are more indoor tropical plants, which of course Patiti's has, but I don't know, just always like plants, and in cold weather like this, tropical is very tempting, honestly. So I like to imagine all that. So there's all these different things. The dies that we have actually fit this paper, which would take a lot of time out if you wanted to do that kind of thing. Let's see. So there's dies for a bunch of these, which I kind of have a little bit scattered here. But you could either fussy cut them or cut them with the dies. These, I'm going to use a few of these that I have to fussy cut, unfortunately. But I personally like fussy cutting, so and then here's a few more that are just the plants that could go with the pots, so you could mix and match kind of thing. And that even has a few succulents, which is nice. And then this one, which I think these are called like sensitive plants, where they like shrink up really quick when you touch them or touch me. Not touch me, not this one, different one I think. Anyway, and then on the other side, we have some more generic textures, basically. So we've got brick and concrete and wood, concrete blocks. Oh, this isn't hard material like that, but it's also a texture. And then I like this one, too, with this wood. Unfortunately, it's got some great things on that side, so it's high demand, that piece of paper. So, all right, so that's the paper. And this is the stamp set, and honestly, there's so much to do with this. I can't even begin to show you everything. But we will start with oh gosh, I just realized. No, I didn't. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is I decided to go on vertical cards today, vertical format. So I'm going to score that at 5.5. I got my new cutter today, but I haven't opened it yet. Just using the one I have for the moment. So, all right, where's my bone folder? This is needing a crease, apparently. Alrighty, so this is soft sea foam, which is not in the suite. Well, it's not in the color setup here, but I actually had been thinking about a card with these colors the other day, and I was like, wait, I should save that for Plentiful Plants, where I have a lot of green things, right? So I figured that Julie's gonna like this one. So, hey Nancy, hi Mom. Good, glad you're here. Hopefully we'll have some more people join us. All right, so here I have 4 different shades of green. All right, and they don't even like really go together, but they I thought they looked pretty good together, honestly. Better than I expected, I'll be honest. So, with about an eighth of an inch all the way around, I do have the garden green one a little bit bigger. These are both 1 inches, 1 inch each, and then this is 3/4 of an inch. So, this would be 1 7/8. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. I've been so sneezy the past couple days. It's been rough. And anybody who was with me on the mystery card last night, you guys are so lucky. I finished it and then I sneezed like 5 times in a row. It was a little rough there, but my nose was running. It was terrible. But that's over. Today's a little better. Not completely done. But usually I think when I've got stress, it doesn't help. Let's put it that way. So, okay, here we have the colors. And you know what? I think I am going to attach them now. So, definitely want to keep this, you know, I don't want it to take too much of your time. I'm so grateful for you being here, honestly. Your time is very valuable to me. And your presence here is very valuable to me. And, yeah, one of these days, I keep thinking I'll have more time someday, and I don't know why, because I won't. But there's a lot of things I can do to boost viewership and all that, but most of it involves money, and I'm not usually feeling like this, you know, one thing or the other was like the best thing I could have ever done. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, you know. So I just keep putting that off. All right. So, well, I kind of end up with extra here at the bottom of this one, but I don't know if we can scooch this at this point or not. Okay. All right. Well, I think it looks pretty good, actually. All right. So, next thing I want to do, I have twine, linen thread, sorry, not twine. And I'm going to, oh, hold on, I got to do that a little bit later because I need to thread something. Okay, so now I'm going to do some of the plants. So like I said, I cut out a couple things. I didn't fussy cut everything, but I did cut out this. My mom always called these knife plants, but James called them something else. Help me remember. So I need to fussy cut this, and I started doing it, but I was like, oh, I better have the second card in better shape than I do. So I'm going to kind of do this kind of quickly. So what I did, I'm going to have a very narrow edge on this because there's some parts on the inside of this. There's some details that I can't get to, so I didn't want to go too close to the edge and then have the inside look weird, so. Alright. So, I probably would recognize the name that he uses for those plants, but I always thought they were knife plants. Yay, Julie has arrived. Everything's good. No, I agree with you. I could have used another 5 minutes, honestly, but that's okay. I didn't want to lose anybody by being too late. And I've gained some, so I'm up to a few. I was, I guess the one that I did last night, 74 people actually viewed it somehow. I was impressed. So, and that wasn't all at the same time. believe me. It wasn't live that they were watching. But that's okay. I just want people to enjoy stamping. I want people to learn. It helps if people buy things so that I can get more things to show people and teach people about. I do believe in these products. They're really quality, and they're always coming up with new things, and of course we all want to try new things, right? I could keep showing the same old, but I don't know that anybody would want to see that. So seeing the latest and greatest is far more fun, isn't it? Alright, I'm almost done with this one. Yay. And of course, you know, the left hand, or the opposite hand, I should say, because not everybody is right-handed, is just as important as the right hand, or dominant hand, because it moves it around and gets it in all those tiny places. Alright, so that should be fairly good. Now this one I was kind of excited about because I figured out a way to make it catch on to the hanger that it's going to hang on. You know how, macrame is kind of making a comeback. I think that's part of why we might have some houseplant kind of images more. But maybe it's a combination. Maybe macrame is because we have plants. Not really sure. But, which came first, the chicken or the egg. But macrame is really cool. It's having taught the textiles merit badge. Macrame is all about knots. So we have different kinds of textiles, or, we have weaving, different methods, I should say. We have weaving, we have knitting, we have knotting, and macrame is definitely a knotting one. So I always wanted to make some kind of plant hanger, and I just really hadn't, and I still haven't. It's just, one of those minor bucket list type of things. I actually have some yarn in the barn that I want to use someday, maybe even this summer. Maybe this is the year to do it with my arts and crafts kids. That would be fun. I bet they could do it. So anyway, I'm cutting really close to the edge on this because I want it to look relatively real. I mean, much as a drawing can be, right? But this, we have one of the dies here is the macrame. I have cut it out already to make time, especially since I couldn't cut this out quick enough. So I cut that out ahead of time, but you can see that this little pot would fit into that pretty nicely. But I have figured out a way to adapt this little pot, or no, not the pot, the macrame hanger thing. On the home stretch, guys. Okay. So I will show you my little trick here in a second. Almost. Thank you for sticking with me here. Ooh, we even got somebody else. You just ordered this bundle? Yeah, well, this was one of the first ones I got, but everybody's different, right? So I know there's some that you have gotten that right away that I didn't. Like, I didn't get the tulip one. I mean, I got the paper, but I didn't get the windmill. That's really cool. But I don't know. Maybe if we had some Dutch heritage. Although, I have to say, there's one that has, there's Vikings. It's a Viking stamp set. And James's side has Danish in his background. So, you know, I thought that might be a good one, but I haven't gotten that either. So, all right. So here is my little pot with philodendron or something like that. And so this would fit just beautifully right there. Almost like it was made for it or something. However, this has got all of the plants tucked in underneath all of the knots and the yarn, which would ruin those plants, wouldn't it? Okay, so, I mean, I suppose some of it could be, but if all of them got smushed, you know, what would be the point, right? So I wanted to get some of it to hang out. So one way that I figured out how to do it is to have it coming through. So I made some smart slits in different places. So one was here. Another one was I made this leaf completely, not completely, it had to be attached somewhere. So I'm attaching it way, way up here. And then, let's see, this one over here. All right, so here we have a few places where it can tuck in. Now the other thing is, this seems really big, which, I mean, it's fine. I want it to be a little less mass, I guess. So what I ended up doing was I cut 2 of these off. I cut that down so that it's a much more minor hanger on thing. And then, so that means you gotta trim it up here. Alright, and then if you want to keep the tassel on the bottom, that's fine. I actually did not on my card. Maybe I'll do it on this one just to see what it looks like. We can always cut it off later. Alright, so now what I want to do is to tuck this in through there. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm way off out of the ballpark here. The screen. Alright, so I've tucked this. Here, let's try that again. Sorry about that. Here I made the whole view like closer to me so I would not be off the screen, but and here I'm doing stuff way over here. That's nuts. But that would go. All right, so here I'm putting that through, and that slit is going to help that kind of adjust there. All right, and then that little tiny leaf, you see that tiny leaf? That hangs over and looks good. And then here I want this leaf is going to hang over, and then this one is too. I hope I can. All right, yep, there we go. Do you see how that helps? It makes the whole thing make a little more sense. I mean, I know I overthink things. I know that, but there. Oops, let me put that leaf over that. Okay, so there is that. So I could put a little drop of glue so that that doesn't go anywhere. Although on my first one I didn't have to at all, which was kind of interesting. It just held it there. But all right. Oh. Ah! My little baby leaf. Oh, come on. There we go. Wow. How did that glue so fast? All right, let me fix that. Okay. There. There. All right. Now we're talking. Okay, so there I have the one that's hanging. All right. And then I cut out a couple other things. Now, this was interesting. I was like, well, I thought that was just like a double thing, but then I realized this actually fits into it. Look at that. Just like that. Like an egg holder or something. You know, Easter's coming, you could do something with that too. Ooh, that's interesting. There's this one, you could do 2 of those and make an egg somehow. Totally cool. All right. Anyway, I did this, and then it turned out that this plant was a little taller than I wanted it to be. So what I ended up doing was I glued it on top like this, so it was a little bit deeper in there, and it just looked like it had a double thing. But I did want to show you how this was very cool, very simple, probably what it was intended for. All right, so I'm going to put a tiny bit here. That's the nice thing about this craft glue, is a little bit actually goes a long way. It's very sticky, and it's not, you know, when things are running, you have to use a lot of time to make things stay, then it's kind of frustrating. All right, so then I have this, but I wanted to make it, when I put this on here, all right, I have all these things in this Cajun Craze, and it kind of goes with those pots, and that's fine. But I feel like there's all this light, and there really isn't anything else that's this Pear Pizzazz or this. So I'm like, oh, I need it to balance a little bit better. We have this here, and those leaves over here kind of balance with the Evening Evergreen. There's some Evening Evergreen there, and then you know, do you see how I'm talking about? There's nothing down here that has any of these light colors. So I figured out a way to do that. So this is the one that I used to make that. All right, I'm going to make a green one. And I have, this is the mini Stampin' Emboss. All right, so this, by the way, is 20% off this month. I've been meaning to put the details on my website, but I haven't gotten there yet. So, but that is coming very soon. So, all right, the lid, the last, where is it? Huh. It is not. What the world? Oh, for heaven's sakes. I actually cleaned too. Not sure where the top is for this. But anyway, this is 20% off, as is, I believe, some of the stamp sets that work well with it. All right. Let's see. This has to be relatively close by. I may have to use my big one. That's so weird. Well, this works nicely when you have all the parts. It really does. Here we are. Found it. Okay, so here you can put this on top of that, and you can roll that on through. And it's so nice because it's small and it folds up. So here, I'll just round that through. It works for small items. Obviously, you can't use a full-size embossing folder or some of the bigger dies that we have. But here, I'll show you how it folds up. So it folds up like this. And then you have this cute little thing. See how little it is. It's so nice. This little mini one. So 20% off. That's the first time I've ever seen it on sale at all. So that is a nice opportunity perhaps for you. All right, so here I have, let's bring that back. I have this green one. And so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see where there's lines. Do you see these lines here? So I'm going to actually cut at the top of those. So it makes the same curve. All right, and then I'm going to put that on the bottom of this, so it's going to extend it. And then now we have it more balanced. See how I did that? A little bitty trick. And some people don't realize that's why it wouldn't work as well as I made it work just now. But it's the principle is balance. Principle of art, literally. All right, so that can go right on that. And now I have a little bit bigger and two-tone pot, I guess. All right, so now it is time to start putting some things together a little bit. Now I want to pop up all of these, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. All right, so, and then I'm putting the big ones because it goes faster, but I actually love the smaller ones better. All right, so, all right, I'm going to thread this. So now this is my chance. All right, I have the linen thread. Try to do it again. All right, put that through there. And I'm gonna figure out where would be a good spot for that. Somewhere around there, so let's see. Okay. Something like that. All right, so then this is gonna go around. I'm gonna put a little bow over here. Adjust that a little bit more. Yeah, even more. Okay, that might do it. So, okay, I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm holding this with my other finger, and as I tie that, and then it goes underneath it. So there I have a relatively tight double knot, and then I'm going to make the bow. And if this is loose, you can always use a glue dot, but hopefully my little technique, things will be fine. All right, so there I have a bow for that to hang on. All right, okay. So far, so good. And then I do want words. So what I'm going to do, probably should have stamped these first, and then I could really have arranged that better, but too late. So, to a dear friend, and I'm going to put that right up here. Sorry guys, I'm going to be able to... Okay, that works. All right, and then, I don't know. Let's do this. So I'm making this over a tiny bit, and then this will go here. That almost is a positive negative deal, and then this is going to go kind of like just behind it a little bit. So it's gonna go like this, the flow, if that makes sense. All right, so your eye might stop here at the thing that's popping out, and then the words, and then this, like that. So since we read top to bottom, left to right, that should work. All right, so we're almost here. We're almost done. And, all right, so let's put that right like that. And then this. Okay, so I hope you like those tips and tricks for that really pretty little green card. I bet Julie likes it because it's green, right? I bet other people like it too, even though whether or not that's their favorite color. I do. Green's not my favorite color, but I do like this one. All right, so I put a lot of time into this one, which meant I didn't have quite as much time for the other one. But I was kind of going for a bit of a tropical look. And I did end up getting that thanks, always amazing thanks dies. Okay, so I got this amazing thanks where they layer on top of each other like that. Okay, so this is the first time I'm using it, honestly. So I'm going to have, yeah, here. I was looking for this paper. Alright, well, I'm glad I found that top because I'm going to use the mini thing again. Although, yeah, there it is. Alright, so I already cut out thanks, but I'm going to cut out this a little bit wider one. Alright, and actually it would be a great idea for me to use the adhesive sheet, but I am running out of time here, so I'm just going to glue it. It's just not, you know, it's more than one way to do something, right? I think the saying is more than one way to skin a cat, which is really gross when you think about it. And I don't know, are there more than one way? I'm not the expert, thankfully, on that one. So, and hope I would never be. Because cats make me sneeze horribly, but they are adorable. So, you know. All right. So there I have the big words. Here is my white detail words, and what I wanted to do is to make this the background, and then this will be right here. And I wasn't sure about this gray background, but what I want to do is then put this under here, and that's why I brought the granite gray in, because I wanted to be like part of the wall, and I'm thinking that didn't quite do it, but I could kind of blotch that with a sponge, maybe. Oh, I know. I don't know. Hopefully I don't ruin this. Paper. Okay, this is a little bit of experiment here. Let's see, gray granite. I want to make it look like this texture here. All right, so let's see how it looks on paper. Okay, it's worth a shot. I don't know. Almost seemed like I got some beige into that, but it's toned down a little bit. So, all right, then. So this is going to look kind of like a wall. It made me think of like at the zoo, or like a low concrete wall. And then I thought, oh, it'd be really pretty if it had some plants overflowing it, if you know what I mean. so let's see. I'm going to use the garden green. And here is that, I don't know, they're like, we have some of these, I don't know what they're called, but they almost look like peas. And so I'm going to make those kind of, make something like that. Because I actually have already stamped with the darker color, and I wanted to make that so I wanted maybe a little bit farther. Okay, so this may be overkill, but and then the other thing I wanted to do was to have a nice one of these kind of well, not this exactly, although I don't have that set yet. There's one that has this cool leaf here, but let's see, garden green. Do I want garden green? No, I'm going to use the Just Jade on Just Jade. This is one of those nice juicy pads, so I'm thinking that might help. All right, and then I have the bigger plant. It's on, oh, here it is, on a block. Okay, I'm gonna stamp this. Now this is gonna be kind of a background one. Okay, and maybe I should have done that in the darkest one. Oh well, too late. I have a die that works with that. All right, and so let's try that. I think offsetting it when you put them on so that it's not, it kind of like eases into it. When you're trying to cram all these layers through, sometimes it kind of balks at you, you know, and like, I don't want to do that, but when you put it in kind of in an angle, it works better. All right, so if I have this, and then this is kind of spilling over, and then this is going to go on top. I don't know, I think I got too much beige, too much brown into the white. Maybe I should have left it. Or, can you still see that? Is it too hidden? I kind of like that better, to be honest. Huh, okay, so, and, I think I need something darker for behind this leaf. So, sorry, let's take two on that. And use the Evening Evergreen. So everybody's with me? Yeah, I guess we can't all have green as your favorite color, right? This might be a little crazy if everybody liked green so much. But if you combined my two favorite colors, you would get green. So I'm not far off. All right. Well, I guess it's not a lot different. I almost think the jade was darker. Oh well. All right, so I'm going to put that on there, and this can overflow a little bit. And this is all going to be right there. Okay, oh, and then what I wanted to do, so, and then that will go like that. All right. What if I did that? All right, so that it's kind of like part of this, but it's not. All right, so now what I also wanted to do is jungles have flowers too, but there really isn't any flowers on this one. So I borrowed a few from the Hippo Happiness one, and there's 3 of them, except I misplaced the 3rd one already. So I'm gonna make 2, but I'll add another one on there. And there are words that could go with this. So thanks, you could put so very much. That would look cool. All right, so very much. Probably would help to be straight. Okay, so maybe I should glue some things down. There we go. Okay, so I want that all the way up there. So I cut this. It was not the most efficient use of designer series paper, but I wanted it to go side to side, so that it was like really full, right? And then, let's see, if I put this, and then this could go, yeah, that works. All right, so let's glue some things. So what do you think? Oh, Jill's here, yay. Yeah. Glad to hear you're here, or see you here. Did you know that, you know, when you're, like, I'm a visual person, usually you see, like, yes, you see and hear people, but if you tend to be one or the other, you tend to say that, from what I understand. So, like, instead of saying, I don't have a really great example, because I just thought of something and it didn't really fit, so, oh well. So here I'm putting this, it's just kind of like the jungle coming out more. You could pop that up, but then it would not be behind the lettering that I want to look like it's coming out, so I'm going to put that there. Oh, you know what? It would have been good to put that on white. That's what I had tended to do. Yep, I was going to do jade on white so that I'd have the white lines. See that? All right, well, you know, I have to make a mistake on everything. I don't know that I've ever done one of these that was perfect, so that's my mistake for today. Oops. Well, actually I made a couple, but nothing horrible. All right. So this doesn't fit quite on the line like I hoped, but it's okay. And so this contrast between the white and the green should bring your eye to it, but just in case, I want to put some flowers in a, I wish I had the other one so I could just do that in one fell swoop, but I think that, let's see, what do you think? Purple flowers? Pink flowers? Anybody have a suggestion? I'm all ears. Oh, sorry. Welcome to the Jungle? That song? Yeah. All right. Anybody have any opinions? Ooh, maybe I could do my other. How would that look? Well, that could really stand out. All right, so if I ran it through these little flowers, have a little Ooh. Pale papaya. Ooh. I was going for something bright, but pale papaya would go good too. Let's see. You like that better? Let's do a couple of those. I'm going to find that third one as soon as I'm done. I have a feeling. Yeah, that's kind of better. Let's try that. Come on. See, sometimes when I put it in together, whoops. Yeah, the Mango Melody does stand out more, but they're similar. All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, just dropped it on the floor. Well, at least I vacuumed yesterday, so. Okay, so my little scaling triangle kind of thing. So kind of have them clustered around the first one, and then I can put these on. Let's see how that looks with the red. I think we need more, don't you? How about that? There we go. That looks very tropical-ish. Right? All right, so and then we'll put that there. And one here. Okay, so just about here. These were, I think, are discontinued, but we have other ones, different colors. All right, so there we have it. We have the jungle coming in a little bit. We have Thanks sitting on a wall in a way. And probably should have made that on white, but it does stand out even more when it's on jade. And yeah, so these are the two cards that I made tonight. Very different, but using the same, some of the same supplies, right? That cool paper. I stamped some plants. I used the dies. I used, yeah, paper. So, yeah, I even adapted a couple things, how I cut this off and I added that and I glued it on instead of tucked it in. So, lots of things that you can do with this. Very versatile. All right, so hopefully you like these. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. If anybody is interested in ordering anytime soon, celebration is over, but you can use this host code. It helps me earn more points to get more free stuff to demonstrate. So it doesn't cost you anything to do this. It just, you add this onto the your order if you're under $150. If you're over $150, you keep the free stuff yourself. But yeah, you would help me out if you did that. But otherwise, do look into, if you are interested in that mini cut and emboss machine, because it's 20% off right now for this month. And I will be back next Tuesday. If you haven't checked out the mystery card from last night, be sure to do that. There are some, Clue 1 has the supplies that you need, and they come out really nice. I saw at least one example that Diane did, and I think she did manage to post eventually. But anyone else who makes a card should post theirs so that I can, I'm going to put everybody's names in a hat and pick one, and I'm going to send them one of the samples so that I made on screen, on air. So, all right, well, have a wonderful rest of the week. I hope to see you back here on Tuesday, and happy stamping. Thanks. Bye.